afternoon. It is Tuesday the 7th of January. It is 1:28 in the afternoon. How are we all? Hope everyone is well. It's one of the days so far. We've got nothing done. There's been people in to say hello, there's been customers in to drop off some work, but we've been kind of busy with different things. Yep, Sammy's got norovirus, which is brilliant, so we're all kind of waiting for that to happen.
T-minus and how many days count until we're all doing our load. Thank you very much, Sam.
Exactly.
1 day he was in school.
One day back at school, and then that's him, he's unwell.
He's over at his granny's wee sick bowl.
Today's plan, what have you got on?
I need to sit and organise all of the Christmas orders, check the stock in the shop, start to get that organised because I'd like to get that emailed over, not by close of play today, maybe by tomorrow, and start moving that towards getting sent out towards the end of the week, beginning of next week.
Don't even start that, I had to edit that last time.
Paul has inquired about a pair of skates, so I need to sort out his order and code for the website. So a couple of inquiries that came via text messages, phone calls, so on and so forth today. I'll make my way through them. I think that's it. That'll take me all day to get that sorted anyways. And there's been some new orders on the website, so they've got them printed off. I need to go to the post office and get change and get a ream of paper because we ran out of normal paper. We're printing on card.
To premise is that people don't realise over here that it's one of these things that you go to the post office to get change instead of going to the bank to get change. You go to the post office over here because they have currency as well.
Yes, I just need to go and change £20 notes for some pound coins because we're out of change. So we'll do that. I need to pop to the chemist because it's round the corner, and I'll do all that, do the orders, and then it'll be time to go. How about you?
Right, so I need to take you with me to be able to show you guys what I've got to do today, so bear with me. Right, so today's jobs are, who's in the last video we spoke about this, they wanted the holders changed from the Lightspeed Edge, had to be removed off of these and put onto these. Now, there's an issue with these. They are cracked in the inside. I'm not 100% sure if you'll be able to pick this up on the camera, but there's a crack that runs from all the way back here, all the way up to here, and then there's a couple of cracks in there as well. It's because the footbed of the skate is very old. The old skates do this. You're going to find that no matter what you're going to do with these skates, they're going to deteriorate. It doesn't matter how well you keep them, if you've got them in a hermetically sealed environment or whatever else, they're still going to crack. I know that's a big word, isn't it? So what he's decided to do is he said that he's now getting lace bite in the tongues and the vapors, the X300s or 500s, sorry. So there's lace bite in these ones, and he wants me to take the tongues out of these ones and put them into there. So that will be one of the first jobs. Apologies I get interrupted there. There was a customer come in, started asking questions about joining adult beginner teams and stuff like that, so I was giving them a bit of information, and so was Pamela. Yeah. Yep.
He wanted to start hockey and he didn't know where to start, how to start, and we pointed him to where would be good to start developing and who to look out for. And the doors, we've got a bit of a dodgy door today. The door seems to have swollen in the kind of coldish damp weather, and it now doesn't shut properly, so great.
So that's what's going to be my next job, is after I do these jobs I'm just about to show you, I'm going to try and fix the door because I'm Mr. Handyman apparently. Right, so back to this. So these holders were meant to be taken off these, put onto these, and these were all meant to be re-eyeletted. But what we've discovered is obviously the footbed is all cracked on the inside. So what we've decided to do instead is the customer, I actually messaged the video messaged the customer and said to the customer, look, this is the situation, the footbed is completely broke. If I take the holders off of these skates, what's going to happen is I'm going to try and put the new holders back on, and it could damage the footbed, the internal footbed, even more, because there may have to be new holes drilled. And if there is new holes drilled and you have to re-rivet, sometimes when you re-rivet with that kind of state of footbed, or the internal footbed, that the skate will actually deteriorate even more, which is not exactly what you're looking for. You don't want to spend all that money getting your these holders onto these skates and then re-eyelet them, and then 5 minutes on the ice something happens, you take a puck off the holder, and then next thing you know you're sitting with your holder in your hand and your skate still on your foot. You don't really want that to happen. So that is the plan now, is that we're going to change the tongues, because the tongues of these ones are not adequate enough and he's getting lace bite. So he decided that he wants to try the tongues from the Vapors and the old Vapors and the new Vapor skates. So that's something I'm going to need to try and see if I can get to fit to the skate today. I also have another repair which has just come in, which has to be done today and has to be collected before tomorrow. There is a hole in the thumb area of this glove here, and I'm going to have to put a small patch in place or try and sew it into back into position, because the player in question has training tomorrow night and needs it as an emergency repair, because, well, he doesn't want his thumb coming out the glove. So it's understandable that he doesn't want the thumb coming out the glove, so I'm going to try and see if I can get that fixed as well. So that's 2 repairs that I've got to do today so far. So that'll be a tongue out and tongue in. So take the tongues out of these ones and put them into these ones. And then obviously this glove has already been done and it's just waiting to be collected. So I will get on with doing some work, I suppose. I think I'm going to go and try and see if I can tackle the door, take a little bit off the bottom of it, and then once I've done that I'll get on to the hockey stuff. Hopefully I'm successful.
Before I start, I'm going to go to the shop so that I don't get into it and then miss the shop, miss the chemist. So I'm going to go do that now and come back and do the order organising and emailing and...
Right, so we're 3:35 right now, and it's been one of the days where every time I've sat down to do something else has come in. So we've had a rocker that's been in the last little while. We've had a skate punch as well that's been in, that had to take precedent over the work that's actually sitting waiting to get done. Now, one of the things that I actually had to do was I had to take the tongues out of the skates, both sets of skates, so I can install the old tongues in the new skates. Now, looking at them, again, this is just my personal preference. These tongues are not the best, and they're going to be putting in a pair of tongues that are a wee bit older, a wee bit thicker. Hopefully that takes away the lace bite, but then if you look at what we're actually working with skate-wise, the skate is really damaged here, and it's starting to show signs of wear in both sides. One of these ones where I'm going to have to do the job originally that the customer has asked, which is install the tongues. So I will install the tongues, but it's one of these ones where there is so much more work that could be done on these. Again, I don't know whether it'd be worth doing the work on them, considering the fact that they're an X500, which was a kind of mid-level kind of skate. So it's one of the things that we're kind of thinking about just now, whether I should contact the customer and ask him if he wants any extra work or any additional work done to them. Problem being is if I do have to do any additional work, the tendon guards are broken on them. This part here is probably going to have to have new foams put in. It's going to have to have some sort of leather put over the top of it, and it's going to have to be sewn in place, and there's going to be new eyelets that's going to have to be put in them as well. Again, it's one of the ones where the amount of work doesn't really it's like the risk to reward kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So like if I start taking these apart and there's even more things that's the matter with them, you're not really wanting to do the work on them. Tendon guard wise, if I have to take the tendon guards off, I have 2 tendon guards that are sitting. I've got a couple of pairs of them spare just now. That's both tendon guards were completely broken. But again, it's just to see the customer buy. The customer doesn't really obviously want to spend a lot of money on his skates, so the best course of action right now is just obviously to change the tongues and see if the tongues make the difference and get rid of his lace bite. But I think there's obviously going to be, we'll see these skates in again at some point with other issues, but that's just how it goes. And then obviously we still haven't managed to get the blocker done. The blocker has to be done by tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to be the next on the agenda. I'm going to have to try and see if I can get that done as quickly as possible. Try and get the repairs done and out the door, because we have another pair of skates that are sitting over here. They came in earlier on. I had basically sewed the skate back together, and I'm going to show you where I did it. So the skate had been sewn back together here. I know it kind of looks as if it's stock, but it's been speedy stitched all the way up and round, because the quarter package of the skate was actually coming off the toe box on both sides. Now I don't know what had technically happened, if the player in question had put his foot into the skate and caught a piece of plastic and it caught on a sock, but I've had to heat up a screwdriver, believe it or not, and melt an area of the toe box back into place because it was protruding and jagging into his foot. So that's a repair that I've also had to do today. Pamela is still trying her hardest to try and get everything organised with her orders. Again, with customers coming in, spending time, and people coming in to speak to us, and inquiries and stuff like that, she's not really getting that much time to do what she has to do. So I'm going to try and get back onto this. And so 12 minutes past 6, that's me finally finished everything I had to do today. Lots of phone calls, lots of messages, lots of trying to get everything sorted for everybody else. None of my own stuff done today. Now, I say none of my own stuff. One of the things that happened over Christmas or last month was I bought a pair of skates from an online store and I had to send them back, and they've been held at customs from the country that I sent them to. So I've been trying to track them down because they still haven't been received by the company that I bought them from, and I still haven't received a refund. So one of the things that I've had to do is try and chase Royal Mail all day to try and see if we could get it sorted, and we still couldn't get through to them. So Pamela ended up having to take the phone with her today when she was going home to try and see if she could get through to Royal Mail and get an answer to why the skates have been held at customs. On to the stuff that has been done today. I'll start off with this one. Tongues in this skate, the X500s were taken out. They've not been replaced and not been put into these. They're just in that skate just now for dramatic effect. The tongues from the Vapor 3s are now in the Vapor X500s because they have got a little bit of a stiffer material in the metatarsal area of the tongue. Hopefully that stops the lace bite. The next thing I then obviously done was I done a quick sewing job on the blocker. I didn't actually have to put a patch in, don't know if you'll be able to see. Just around about there, you can see I've actually stitched it by hand, just with needle and thread. That was all that needed, just to be able to hold it back in place. It originally just kind of started to come away from where the original stitch line was. Now this one is actually quite interesting, and I find this quite funny. Right, so we've got a friend that moved over to Boston, Graham, and Graham has recently messaged me and asked me to get a set of steels sharpened and ready for him. Not because he's coming here, it's because he wants his mum and dad to come and collect a set of steels and send them over to Boston for him, because he doesn't trust anybody else with his sharpenings. What his actual words were, over here they use all of these automated machines and they don't do them as sharp as you, so I would like them done the way I usually get them done. So Graham, there is your steels. They have been ready for about a week for you. Just waiting your mum and your dad to come, or mum or dad coming in to collect them to get them sent over to you. I thought that was quite funny. Now the furthest I've ever sent a pair of skates after having to get them sharpened was maybe London. I have never ever, and I repeat, never ever had to send steels to America for someone, so that's a privilege. So thanks very much for letting me do that for you. I'm really honoured, the fact that you've actually allowed me to do your skates and send them, or do your steels and send them away across here for you, because you don't trust the Americans. That's always good. But anyway, right, for the end of today, that's me finished, and we will catch up with you tomorrow night.
Good evening, hockey fans! Oh, sorry, I can't.
Yeah, that's copywritten.
Copywritten! Scrap that.
Good evening, cold-blooded sports fans.
Good evening, hockey shops fans.
No, try good evening, cold-blooded sports fans.
Good evening, cold-blooded sports fans.
There we go, there we go. Happy days, right? What day? What's the date? What's the date? The time?
Wednesday. It's 5:36.
What's the date?
I forget.
The 8th of January.
8th of January.
So what's on the agenda for tonight?
I don't know. Whatever I didn't get done yesterday, which was pretty much everything.
Right. So I have not got my laptop with me.
Oh, for God's sake.
Because I only usually do it. No, I never forgot it. I purposely left it at home because it's all set up for editing and stuff like that, and I've got not. Well, I suppose I've got this relic here, but I don't know if that's going to work.
The mouse and the wheel a kick first.
Exactly.
I don't think he's very awake.
Well, we'll try and see if we turn it on and see if the fans kick in. Oh, we've got fans, but we've not got the big fans. So anyway, apparently my biggest fan's in front of me, but see, there's the old fans. So what's the plans then? What are you going to do?
I do need to finalise the orders. I sat down to do it yesterday and it was It was steady and a lot of visitors yesterday, so again, they'll come in. I can't exactly ignore them and work. I'll try and get that finished off tonight. Then,
yeah, there's that M again.
I know, because that's all I can see that we need to do so far, is get the orders all in, straightened up, ready to be ordered and confirmed, which I'm going to work on tonight. I'm hoping that maybe Danny pops in, because I've not seen him in a good few weeks and I'm not too worried about him, so I might have to send a carrier pigeon.
I was saying, and last night, well, before I finished off, and it was before I signed off, I was saying about where the steels are going to.
Yes, they were picked up tonight. Camley. Hello, Graham. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, boys. Callum, Connor, and Patrick. Graham obviously used to play with Pace Pirates, and Elizabeth and I were in the Twins Club, and then they emigrated back to Boston because Elizabeth is from Boston. And the big chicken shit hasn't had his skates sharpened in 4 years since he's been in Boston, because he's too fierce to let anybody else touch them. So instead of just biting a bullet and letting another hockey shop sharpen them, he's asked for a set of steels from us, sharpened by yours truly, so they can be shipped to Boston.
Hey, you like what you like?
I know we've had
Valentine, I would have said about Valentine.
Valentine used to ship them up from London.
Then you had Karen, who, when she stayed in the Lake District, she used to drive
She used to drive them up from when she was in the lakes. And then you had a few down from up north, blah blah blah. But I think Boston is the furthest away. And then obviously we get the odd shipment from our kind of Dubai contingency when they're over in the...
Yeah, but they bring the skates over to get them, but they're home at the time when they're getting them done. So I'm bored. I've got nothing to do so far. I have no repairs. All my repairs are up to date, and I'm just waiting on the customers coming in to collect them. And then
tonight will be quiet though, because it's the kind of mid-cold, middle of January, beginning of the month.
So that should mean you should have plenty of time to do all your orders.
Yes, it should, shouldn't it?
Right. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a wee browse on Warrior's site and see what there is. See what new products are coming. I thought you'd like a laugh at this. Right, we managed to get it up and running. It looks as if it's absolutely brilliant. The only thing is, I'm still waiting. I don't know if you'll be able to see the wee hamster wheel here. That's been 10 minutes. We've been waiting for it to kind of click onto the internet.
10 minutes.
It's about 10 minutes. There we go. It's now kicked into touch. Let's see if it actually works and see how many updates it needs, because it has not been on in weeks. Well, 8:37. There's nothing been recorded tonight.
Nope.
Nothing at all. The reason being is tonight was very, very, very quiet.
Very quiet. I was getting on with my orders and sorting everything out. I did kind of not work at my usual 9 million miles an hour pace. Like,
You're not even talking at your 9 million mile an hour pace.
I know.
I think Christmas is finally caught up with us, eh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you run on adrenaline for all of December, and then you've got your own family stuff going on with the kids, and then juggling and trying to squeeze everything into your 4 days off that you don't get any other time of the year. And then you get back to normal, everything settles back to normal. Obviously Sammy was sick yesterday, and everything just there's a bit of a wall gets hit, and I think that's this week.
Yep, exactly. So jobs that I did tonight, I did 1 heat mould. I think I did about 6 sharpenings, and it was no point in even recording it because they were in and out the door that quick. It was no point even setting up for the camera. I did however have a wee look on Warrior. I say Warrior, one of our suppliers is Warrior in Sherwood, so I was on having a wee look at some of the stuff that they do. They do Warrior Sherwood Blade Master, so I was on looking to try and see if I could get some discs for my machine, stuff like that, because over the Christmas period I've bumped through nearly 2 because of the excessive amount of sharpenings that I've been doing.
Yeah, but I'm hoping this weekend I'm a little bit busier, and I've got obviously the orders to finish off. I've got some stuff I need to back order, speak to CCM about, because we're waiting on skates, looking for skates. Mr. Finney was messaging me today at 2 o'clock to say he's not moving from the front of our door till he gets skates, but the problem is he's got wee fat feet, and there's no wee fat feet size and the skates he wants in stock. So,
and there's no big fat feet sizes in for me either.
No, there's not. So I'm having to try and see what I can do for them. Wee fat feet size, just fat feet sized in general is really difficult to get.
That's Pamela being diplomatic and saying wide. She's not saying wide, she's saying fat because she thinks that it should be skinny, not so skinny and fat.
Skinny, normal and fat.
Aye.
Cue the comments about skinniest and fattest and normalist.
Not politically correct.
Not politically correct.
Right, so anyway.
I consider myself fat, so I'm only discussing me.
Okay. Right, so for tonight, that's us finished. We will catch you again on Friday when we get back into the store. Hopefully there is more riveting and exciting content that we can then pull out of one's behind.
Well, I have to measure you and Lewis. Lewis, could you please come to the shop? I'll measure you since you don't know what your kit size is. Beep, beep, beep.
That's the next question I was actually going to ask you with regards to the Rise and the Next. Does Next or CCM have a stick?
No.
They don't have a Next stick?
It's only Warrior that has a Rise stick. CCM still have the 3 ranges.
Right, okay. So that kind of defeats the purpose of using the sticks then, so we're only going to be able to use the protective, but that would have been funny as well.
You have your own helmets, your own sticks, your own skates.
Yeah, but it was more the fact that it was the sticks. I was interested to see if they had a Rise stick. I know they do a Rise stick, but they think the stiffest flex is an 85.
You both try the Rise stick.
But then it defeats the purpose. You'll try to do one against the other. It's one of the ones where I suppose we're going to have to ask CCM if there is anything that's due to be released with regards to the Next. If there's going to be a Next stick out, or if it's just going to continue on with the same ranges. I've been watching some other YouTube channels and stuff like that, and there is some new stuff that's due, but they're not allowed to talk about it at the moment. So it's usually you find that it's round about April, July that there's new models, new ranges and stuff like that is released. So we'll have a wee look into that to see if we can get some promo material for that, and maybe see if we can even show it on one of the videos, and see if we can maybe even get some sample stuff to have a look at, not even to use on the ice, but just to look at.
Hopefully.
Anyway,
I'm going to go home because it's 9:15.
Right.
Our children need picked up, and our puppies need fed, and our big smudge needs fed.
that's not me, by the way, that's Hector. Anyway, I'm trying to say bye bye, so Pamela's trying to tell you a big long story about why we're going to say bye bye, but I'm just going to say bye bye.
Bye bye.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we? What day is it?
It's Friday,
What's the date?
the 10th.
What's the time?
Don't know. 12:16.
We just covered this.
I know, I'm forgetful. You asked me to retain 3 pieces of information. I managed to retain 2.
So we're here, it is absolutely freezing outside, it's -1. Now for most of the people that are kind of watching this, -1 isn't that cold, but last night it was -8. Now when it starts, I know that there's places probably in the world where it gets to even colder than this, but it seems to be that everyone seems to shut down and doesn't know how to drive on the road and doesn't know how to do anything because it's a little bit cold. But the hockey people know how to go and skate in a pond, which is good. So
Well, they can come skate in our back garden by the looks of things.
So just remember, if you have been skating on a pond and you've got ice hockey, at some point you're going to have your skates kind of cross ground to have them touched up and sharpened, because if you are on the pond that's not purified water, and because it's not purified water there's a lot of dirt and stuff like that in the ponds, and you'll find that your skates will get blunt very, very quickly, and then when you go onto the actual proper ice you'll find that you'll be sliding all over the place. Anyway, what's the plans for today?
I've finalised those orders because I'm way behind, but it's been stop start all week. It's not been massively busy, but anytime I do sit down to get them all sorted, interrupted.
Right, get the shutter up and let's go. We'll need to see what we can get done today, because there isn't that many custom jobs to get done. All of my jobs have been done, apart from there's one pair of skates I'm going to have to give a slight MOT. I'm going to have to go do some eyelets, possibly some rivets, but we'll have a wee look at them in a wee minute once everybody is in and serviced. So we had a small flurry of customers there, and obviously we're now in the process of, well, Pam's in the process of taking stock of everything because there's a big order coming, or we think there's a big order coming, or we might be making a big order, we might not be making a big order, but we'll, for the purpose of YouTube we might be making a big order. So
Filling holes in the wall.
I'm sure there's a joke in there about filling holes, but we'll not go there. What is on your stock sheet so far?
Coloured laces, replacement steels, buttons, water bottles, grip tape, white numbers, garters and sussies, and I've hit the jocks.
So for the Americans and Canadians and other people, what's sussies?
No, what for the UK's you mean?
Yeah.
So suspenders are braces, garters are suspenders.
So just to obviously make everybody very, very confused.
Yes, so the Americans call a braces,
Yep.
suspenders. The UK call a garter suspenders.
Right, so thanks for that, Pam. You bit of knowledge goes a long way there.
Isn't it?
So what have you found in your orders that in the stock boxes, or your ducats as you would call it? That
Well, I've managed, I don't know where it came from, but we've got a Sherwood senior large neck tech protection collar. I've got a pair of
full length.
senior medium full length jock trousers and a senior small compression jock.
I noticed as well that you've now added a new shelf in for your figure skates.
Yeah. Well, I've got Idea overtures coming. I need to restock the next compression
And you need to
jocks.
pick that up and put that back up where it was.
One minute.
Do you notice that? She stops breathing when she's writing as well.
Thank you.
She holds her breath when she writes on the paper.
Shush! And then, obviously I can't order it all at once, but if I have a list to work from, we'll know what to add into our orders for what we're looking for. I think that's gel, a youth large gel. Our abundance of 2XL clearance.
The well-loose nuts.
Loose.
I got them to try them, but I never ever took them home to try them.
55,000 sets, that's in that hut. There's another loose.
That'll be another one.
1, 2,
Do you know
Three,
why? I won't.
4.
I'll tell you the reason why I got them is they were in clearance, and there's quite a few of the how would I put it? There are more rotund players up here. Yes,
players.
that are constantly looking for these, and I was one of them to try them. But I think the 2XLs would be slightly too big for me now since
They're
I've lost a
loose,
little
so
bit.
you can pull them in.
Yeah, I know you can pull them in because you tie them at the waist, but I'm used to compression now. It's swinging free a wee bit more if you're using something like that.
Still a jock in it.
Yeah, there's still a jock in it, and there's still a part in it that all go around the back of your
That's
leg.
it!
I know.
That's 5 sets of senior 2XL.
Again, I bought them because we've got rotund players that would like to have them, and
If we have 5 of them appear in the shop, buy them.
yeah, that would be really, really nice. But
It's wonderful, isn't it?
believe it or not, I was actually looking for something other to use than Blue Sports stuff, because the Blue Sports stuff in the UK we can't get now.
They don't make it, that's why.
They don't make them. So
Compression jock shorts.
right, story time here for me. They make Blue Sports compression shorts, but they come with Velcro now, and I don't like the Velcro. I like the suspender belt that's actually attached to it, or the garter that's actually attached to it, but they can't get them in the UK, and it's absolutely gutting. I've spent the last 10 years or more skating with these. I had multiple variants of them over the years, and I don't like anything else. I don't like the Warrior jocks because the jocks they're just not as comfortable as, say for example, the Blue Sports ones. The actual jock itself, or the compression material, I like the compression material, but the Warrior ones are a bit hit and miss with the sizings. So the XXL is way too big and the XL's way too tight. So it's one of them ones where the Blue Sports was just the Goldilocks thing. It was just right. So anyway, what else has been happening? That's really, really good to know, Pam, that nothing else is happening.
Just trying to get my stock take done so I can do my orders.